what you say suggests to me that it might be that there is something almost, to our ordinary minds, magical about the way that absence can produce emergence in the first place. It's hard to apprehend it as anything other than miraculous. And yet you're saying that there may be something in the nature of pattern and physicality itself that has these features, which then suggests something about, to go back to your spiritual reference, the Tao Te Ching, is there's something about the Tao itself, like that is, being itself contains within it a potential for emergence that can emerge even the highest values. And therefore, there's something miraculous in the nature of being itself that can be given mechanistic explanations, but it doesn't reduce us to a flattening of our experience of wonder or mystery at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. And in fact, I think that one of the powers of this kind of brainstorming that we're doing and thinking ahead is that it's basically showing us that there should not be a discord between the science and the spirituality. But what's interesting is that this is basically saying that it's the science that has to catch up in one sense. The science is not sort of verifying the spirituality in any of the traditional senses, but it's finally providing an explanation for what we are. And it's got a long ways to go. We don't have all the details. But the advantage of that is, I think, something really powerful. And that is, once we understand the structure of the process, the way it comes into being, why certain kinds of dynamical features are a prerequisite for self, it means that we can begin to use these principles to look for self elsewhere, to recognize ways that self can be changed, can augment, can, as you would describe it, move into higher levels. Clearly, the kind of self of a human being, the kind of self of a fish, the kind of self of a fruit fly, and finally the kind of self of, say, a bacterium, these are different levels of self that have evolved. But as we begin to understand the principles as to not how things evolve biologically, but how new levels of self emerge and why they have the features they have, we have a remarkable tool not just for understanding the world, but also a remarkable tool for making sense of our place in the world, why we in fact belong, why we're an appropriate part of the universe, or as the mystics would say, so the universe, so outside, so inside. That is, it's the same process throughout. I think that's where science should be going. It should be moving in a direction to explain those things that we hold most dear about beauty, truth, and, of course, the experience of the world.